let's move on to the next big game this past weekend, man, where it was the Battle of Pennsylvania. The Steel Nation of Pittsburgh traveling east to take on those Eagles fly, and the Philadelphia Eagles, the hottest team in the National Football League, and going for a team record 10 straight win if they won that game. And not allowing the Pittsburgh Steelers to steal a game in Philadelphia since 1965. Well, we went into the weekend questioning your young Alabama quarterback, Jalen Hurts, and his ability to connect with his number one receiver, Jalen or A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and re-energize that passing game that has been absent the past month. I got it. We understand. Saquon is the man. Saquon is a legit MVP candidate. The offense now funnels through Saquon, running first, passing second, as it should always be. I got it. I understand that. I'm not arguing against that philosophy, but at the same time, when your guy comes up after the game into his press conference and kind of scoffs at the media and say, okay, are you satisfied? Now, no, we're not satisfied. I'm going to tell you personally, I'm not satisfied. That was one game. And that means that y'all made an effort to ensure that you got the ball to A.J. Brown. And all you did was prove A.J. Brown's point about the passing game. You were intentionally looking him off the past month for whatever reason, which is why he kind of let it be known in the media that the passing game sucked. You're a $255 million quarterback and you throwing for 100 yards a game. Improve on that side of the ball, because trust and believe, those teams in the playoffs are going to do their very best to shut down Saquon Barkley. Last time I checked, Saquon has not led a team to an NFL title yet. This might be that year, but he is definitely going to have to earn those yards in the playoffs, and they're going to make Jalen Hurts beat them. Now, I say all of that to ask you the question, are you satisfied with your quarterback, the second best quarterback in the NFC behind one East Dakota, Wayne Prescott? I'm going to give Wayne Prescott that prop tonight. But do you believe Jalen Hurts has not only put to rest, we can throw it when we want and have success, because we didn't do it against a garbage defense. We did it against one of the best defenses in the league, but we are now the best team in the entire NFL.
No. One game don't do that for me. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, he had a good game, and yes, I mean, I ain't mad at him the way the press has been on him. He coming in and throw that up in their face. But just like he had that this week, we also know what he'll do the following week. Now, the Eagles came out with a game plan. I think like their first 6-7 plays were all passing plays. They said, okay, we already know that y'all come in here to shut Saquon down. So, and to pacify, and that's what I say, to pacify A.J. Brown, we're going to force some stuff. But I will tell you what, that's going to come back to bite you on the back end when you start trying to get Jalen to force stuff. I say still stick with what got you there. This, as much as this game looked like, and you look at the scope, the difference in this game is when Najee Harris actually fumbled the ball. The Steelers still had a chance to win this game. They was getting ready to go down there and take the lead in this game. That was a turning point in this game. Without Pickens, with T.J. Watt's hurt. So I wouldn't be too excited if I was the Eagles fans, because it's just one game. And he is not even the second best quarterback in the NFC East. It's a kid up in Washington that I think is actually, I would put my money on a little bit better than Jalen. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I will definitely co-sign on that right here, right now. That yes, Jaden Daniels, who is going to be the Rookie of the Year, even though he came down to NOLA and kind of gave my Saints much needed L. I'm gonna eat that L. So that we can ensure that our 2025 draft position remains in the top 10, preferably the top 5, so that we can get some good players to rebuild this team. Now,
hey, Drew, let me say one other quick thing too. When we look at his passing game, go back and look at because I see a couple of points up in here. One, Devontae, he was hitting Devontae Smith with them short passes across the middle, and Devontae extended and got him them additional yards. And the other piece was, we talked about Saquon, but Troy hit it on the head. Gainwell, that was the difference making, the X factor in this game as well, because he made some crucial plays in this game. It was one play, man. I think they went for it on fourth or whatever, but the dude had him dead to sight. And I mean, he left my man ankles just sitting there on the sideline, and he went on down and did his thing. So,
yeah. You know, and just touching on the Steelers, because we getting ready to talk about them because they have a huge game this weekend for the division against the Ravens. But you mentioned without Pickens, without T.J. Watt in the second half, and Russ not having his best passing game either, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers offense was not clicking like it has done over the past several weeks, where they were hitting on all cylinders. Russ missed some big possible plays deep by a yard or two, a couple of times. So, yeah, Philadelphia is one of the top two teams in the NFC, in my opinion, but they did not prove themselves to be a team that I can depend on to go into each game, and they're going to walk out with that dub, even though they're 11-2 or 12-2. I don't trust them like that yet. You know what I'm saying? I trust you, but I don't trust you like that. So we shall see because, you know, just like you said, Jalen Hurts can go into this weekend and throw for 103 yards. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, before we talk about them, I see in the comments we're talking about the MVP and whether or not Josh Allen's numbers compared to Lamar Jackson's numbers and Saquon's numbers for that matter, because he's still, you know, capable of breaking Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record, which would really justify him getting the MVP, especially if his team has a 15-2 record at the end of the season, especially if his team is the number one seed in the NFC at the end of the season, especially since this is his first year with the team that has multiple superstars on offense. I count at least 4 superstars on offense that all want the ball. We just talked about that. So for Saquon to be able to do that, and on the most talented, dysfunctional team in the National Football League, that would be MVP worthy. So Lamar's numbers are off the charts. 30-something touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Josh Allen's numbers are off the charts, and he performs magnificently in every game, it seems like, after Thanksgiving. So this is turning out to be one of the best MVP races in the 21st century, in my opinion, because all 3 players are worthy. Team records matter, which is why Lamar Jackson is not getting the love that you think he should get. He ain't got nobody to blame but his defense, because they continue to give up those 4-quarter double-digit leads.